Good evening, everyone. We'll go ahead.
Thank you.
All right, we're now ready to begin the Miami press conference. Excuse me. We're joined by head coach Jim Larinaga. We have student athlete Sam Wardenberg, and we also have Cameron McGusty. We're going to ask coach for an opening statement, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Well, I thought that was a great college basketball game by two very good basketball teams playing very well at a very high level. And the game sometimes comes down to some very, very simple things. In this case, it was free throw shooting. All right? They went 17 for 22. We went 6 for 12. All right? We normally are a 70 to 75% free throw shooting team, and we missed some early, and that obviously made a difference. But our guys played as hard and as well as we possibly can. Duke is a terrific college basketball team, and those guys played great. 29 for 58. They ended up shooting, 50% from the field and 77% from the foul line. That was the difference.
If you have a question, please raise your hand, and we'll get a microphone to you. We're going to go to the right side of the room, second row.
Cameron, 24 points on the night, 7 rebounds. Is that something you can take home being happy about despite the loss?
Honestly, I can't. I've been through a lot in my college career. I just want to win. I've only been to the tournament one time. Never made it this far in the conference tournament. It really broke my heart that we couldn't get it done tonight. Our guys fight so hard. We've been through a lot as a program, so the personal achievements and accolades don't really matter to me at this point.
We're going to go to the middle of the room to Michelle in the front row.
All right. Sam, can you just talk about the mood of the team? I mean, to the outsiders would think, oh, they must be really proud. They got close to beating Duke. But, what is the mood of the team right now, and how would you assess the game today?
Yeah, as Coach Al said, two great teams fighting. It was a great college basketball game. Big props to Duke for the way they pulled that out. But none of our guys are putting our head down. We know we have a lot more basketball to play. We'll see where we are at on Sunday. But we're going to get back to work and get ready for that.
We're going to go back to the middle of the room.
Hey, Cam. A.J. Griffin only had 10 points the first time you guys played him. He had 21 tonight, knocked down a couple of late free throws, got the last rebound that sort of sealed the game. What was challenging about trying to defend him today? And you guys did a much better job in the second half in limiting some of the looks he was getting.
Yeah, he can really play. All their guards and guys can really play. He's a great shooter. He has a nice body and frame, strong, gets to the basket. He's an all-around player. He had a heck of a game. He's definitely helped them out in this second half of the season and done a lot for them. So he's a great player. Credit to him and credit to his teammates for getting him the ball.
We're going to go back to the middle.
Coach, Duke's obviously super talented and has a little bit of a size advantage on you like a lot of teams, but how would you rate your defensive performance in terms of the way you guys recovered off, per se, doubles on Boncaro and just the scramble that you guys like to play?
Yeah, one of the adjustments in this game, it was very, very hard to get as many traps on their ball handlers because they ran an offense, we actually run it too, but where they're sprinting off of ball dribble handoffs. And then the screener is not standing still. He's coming on the move, so our guy had a hard time getting out there and trapping. So late in the game, we just decided just to switch. But then that gives them the advantage, the size advantage inside when our guards end up on their big guys and we end up fouling them, and that's how they made all those free throws. Normally, we would like to have turned them over more. They had 10 turnovers. We would have preferred to be 15, 16 turnovers. That would have given us a much better chance to close out the game.
We're going to go to the left side of the room, third row.
Yeah, hey Cam, early in the game you guys were, getting everything going offensively, really exploiting Duke on that end. What was working and what kind of changed in the second half down the stretch?
I think we came out with a lot of energy. You know, they made some adjustments. Obviously, we got a couple steals. Sam got a steal and a dunk. You know, it's just part of our defense and our identity, you know, but that's a basketball game, you know. Teams go on runs, they make adjustments, and, you know, that's the game.
When you go to the back right.
Sort of a follow-up to that question about the last 5 minutes, what allowed Duke to separate themselves from you at the end of the game?
I think they just made good plays down the stretch and made big free throws, you know. If they miss a couple of those free throws, you know, we have a chance to be in the game. But, you know, they're a great team. They execute well. They have a lot of discipline. Props to them.
Front row on the right.
Coach, 6 of 12 from the line, and they out-rebounded you 40-31. Which of those two, or both of them, were keys?
Well, the real critical things are the free throws. The rebounding is part of our, you know, we're just not that big. They're so much bigger. A guy like Mark Williams is 3 inches taller. He's long. He's heavy. Well, we have a hard time on those backboards. I think they got 4 offensive rebounds in the first 2 or 3 possessions. But what we've been able to counter that with is forcing turnovers. But today they handle the ball and they handle the pressure very, very well.
We have a question here in the middle of the room on the second row. All right, so we're going to go to the right to the gentleman here.
Coach, your team only shot 12 free throws from the line, whereas Duke shot 22. Did you have any issues tonight with how the referees were calling fouls?
I think I have a hard job. Ain't nearly as hard as being an official in that environment where everybody thinks they know if your calls are right or wrong. I got no problem with any officials at any time because they do a great job. And what we try to express to our players is, are they going to get every call right? No, we don't make every shot either. We make mistakes. Officials are bound to make mistakes. They're human. I would have liked for them to make a few mistakes that helped us, but I don't think that happened today.
We've got a question here in the middle on the second row, the gentleman with the gray blazer.
Coach, do you think Duke has the talent to win it all in the NCAA tournament, and if so, why?
Well, you answered your own question. They got perhaps the best talent in the country. I mean, I follow the NBA pretty closely. My son's an assistant coach in the NBA, and I look at the NBA mock drafts and stuff like that. They're probably going to have 5 guys drafted, maybe 2 or 3 lottery picks. That's pretty good talent, if you ask me.
We're going to go back to the middle of the room to Connor.
Coach, you beat Duke the first time. You played them down to the wire today. They're in the top 10 all season. You guys have been outside the rankings. Is there a perception problem with the league? And
I definitely think so. The issue with our league, and I wish everybody could understand that we're much different than almost every other league because of the number of terrific, great talent we have in the younger classes that leave. And now you've got to start over again. So like I said, Duke's going to have a bunch of guys drafted. Virginia's had a bunch of guys go to the NBA. When you bring in new talent, especially transfers who have played someplace else in a different system, you're trying to get them to adapt to your new system. You know, our transfers have done a fantastic job, Charlie Moore and Jordan Miller. But there have been some teams in our league that they had to bring in 5 transfers and then play them a bunch. You don't normally just do that and snap your fingers and they're going to be the team that they're going to become when you start the season in November. It takes you a month. And then during that month, you might lose a few games to even low major, mid-major, quad 4 or quad 3 teams while you're making the adjustment, because not only are the players making the adjustment, the coaches as well. And you say, well, don't other leagues have that? Yeah, but not like we do. We had 57 transfers come into our league. It's like half the league is brand new. So it takes a little bit of time, and I hope the people who really make these decisions understand that, because we face the teams in this league. Almost every one of our games has been like that. This is the 17th game decided in the last minute. Actually, maybe even though the game ended up, what, 4? If they miss a free throw, we have a chance to tie it. So it's like a one-possession game, except he made the free throw.
When you go to the left side of the room, to the third row.
Coach, is there anything really different that you see in this Duke team now versus how they were in January when you first played?
Oh, yeah, there's a bunch of differences. The main two, in our observation, is Jeremy Roach is playing really, really well right now, and A.J. Griffin is healthy and playing really well. When you have two of your best players, who at the time we played them the first time, A.J. wasn't in sync yet. He had missed. I don't know if it was injury or COVID or something, but they had missed some time, and now they are clearly in rhythm. You know, the basket that Jeremy Roach at the end of the half, where he went coast to coast and laid it in, that's a hell of a basket. All right? And then AJ, he got him going in the first half. We were up, I don't know, what did we lead by the most? 8? And then AJ Griffin started. Well, those guys didn't do that back in January. Those other guys were terrific, but they've added 2 really good weapons.
Perfect. Thanks so much, guys.